We start with chanting Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Inhale deeply. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavityam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our new text. The text is ancient. For us, it is new. Drg Drsya Viveka. So, whatever I'm sharing with you is everything that is the grace of my teacher, okay, Puja Swami Advayanandaji of Chinmaya Mission, who taught me this. So I'm just reading my notes aloud, essentially, okay, with some colorful commentary here and there. Okay, so that's so it is so the entire knowledge, whatever I got, is from by the grace of our Guru Parampara, from Puja Swami Advayanandaji, Puja Swami Sharadanandaji, Swami Puja Guru Swami Chinmayanandaji, Puja Guruji Swami Tejomanandaji, and the entire Guru Parampara all the way to Shankaracharya and Bhagwan Shankara themselves. So talking about Bhagwan, okay, so when we are covering any text, in this case, Drg Drsya Viveka, what is this text covering? Okay. Now, this text is called as a Prakarana Grantha. What is Prakarana Grantha doing is that it is essentially giving a discourse on Vedanta. Where is Vedanta found? Vedanta is found in Vedas. What are these Vedas? We need to start from there to understand our where we are. Okay, so what we are studying. To understand that, we need to understand a little bit about everything starting from the beginning. Now, when we talk about Vedas, okay, Veda is also known as Shruti. Okay, Shruti means sound. So the entire system of Vedas are nothing but sounds. Why is this Veda? Okay, so we know that we have 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. And however, these Vedas are considered as the essential scriptures for us, and anything and everything that came out, such as, say, for example, Puranas, are enumeration of certain Vedic content. Okay, Itihasas, even though they are history, okay, they are filled with the content from Vedas. All our Darshana Shastras, philosophies, etc., they're all based on Vedas. Okay. Now, these Vedas are also called as Shabda Pramana simply because it is based on the sound. Now, what are these sounds? Okay. So, it is said that these sounds are not created by anyone. Neither any person like us, meaning like neither any jiva, neither meaning no individuals have created these sounds, neither Ishvara. Okay. So that is why what is said is that these are called as apaurushaya. Vedas are also called as apaurushaya because it is not created by any Purusha. Okay. Now, then, if you know a little bit about Vedas, then you may have a question like, wait a minute, I heard like Gayatri Mantra is actually created by sage Vishwamitra. Okay? And some other, what was that other mantra? The Mahamrutyunjaya mantra was by seen by Markandeya, etc. So aren't there rishis who are the authors of these Veda mantras? The answer is no. Okay? Rishis are not the authors of Veda mantras, but these Veda mantras are revealed to them during their heights of their meditation. So they are the seers of those mantra and they are the hearers of those mantras. It is almost like these are eternal truths that have come from that are like timeless. For example, think about gravitational force. Gravitational force was there much before Newton. We all have used the power of gravitational force. Yet, Newton discovered gravitational force. Oh, so Veda mantras are like that. Okay, so they are discovered by these rishis. The answer is little bit of a yes and no. Okay, because what happened is that the concept of law of gravitational force was revealed to Newton. When that knowledge has occurred to Newton, he wrote what this gravitational force is in his own words. Okay? And he has added his own words to this natural law. But in case of these Veda mantras, rishis they themselves understood these concepts, but also they heard these sounds and they used the exact sounds as they are. So as a result, there's a slight difference between the discovery of natural laws by scientists versus the Veda mantras. Now, these Vedas, okay, what are they doing is that it is said that at the beginning of creation, Ishvara reveals these Vedas as sounds, but Ishvara himself is not creating these sounds because they were there before creation and they continue to be there after dissolution. Okay, so this is what it is said. So now that means before creation means what? They are there before creation means the creation is not one and done. Rather, it is cyclical. Creation, sustenance, and dissolution is going on in continuity, in perpetuity. So, in fact, yesterday in another session, we were discussing that even the word creation is incorrect word because nothing has been created, but anything and everything that was unmanifest, it has been brought forth into manifestation and later on it is going to unmanifest. Okay, so in the same way, these Vedas in every creation or in every manifestation, every time the creation is manifested, the world is manifested, they are also manifest. So what do these Vedas reveal then? So they reveal about two things that we are not aware of, which we cannot experience in our day-to-day life. So anything, for example, let us say engineering. Engineering can be learned by looking outside. So Vedas do not teach engineering. Medicine can be learned from outside. So Vedas do not teach medicine, mathematics. Yes, there is something called like Vedic mathematics, but the purpose of Vedas is not to teach mathematics either. What Vedas teach is what is not visible outside. Because it is teaching what is not visible outside, it is dealing with two aspects. One is Dharma, other is Brahma. Dharma and Brahma. What does that mean? Dharma means the way we have to live here, and Brahma is our final ultimate goal. So in terms of Purusharthas, if you are familiar with Purusharthas, we have 4 Purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So all of us, by our nature, should follow our own Dharma, our own essential nature, which is being truthful as well. And moral, ethical, all of them are included in this Dharma. And our goal is to attain to our final Purushartha, which is Moksha. Now, as we are going through this path, occasionally we have certain material desires, and because we have certain material desires, we want to have a means to fulfill those desires. So those material desires is called as kama. The means of fulfilling those material desires are called artha. So dharma, artha, kama, and moksha are 4 purusharthas. Now, of course, we said that dharma and moksha are the essential subject of Vedas. But now, what happens if I only have desires, material desires? What do I do? Now, Vedas are also called as Shruti Mata or Veda Mata. So, mother is all compassionate. Okay. And so, Vedas are also all compassionate. Even though the final end goal is to bring us to moksha, in case if you have artha, and based on artha, were you able to hear me? Like, did you lose me for a second? Hello? Hello? Hello?
You're on mute, Venkat.
Okay. Can you see and hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So there was a momentary power loss. So even though the power loss was barely for a moment, it took about a couple of minutes to connect internet and everything. Sorry about that. So as you're saying, this Veda Mata is going, whether I have any dharmic desire, okay, it is saying that come to me and I will show you the path. Okay, yeah, I will give you a means of fulfilling your desire. If you want to know Brahman, come to me and I'll help you reach the Brahman. So whether I want to live in this Maya world or reach to Brahman, as long as I'm in following Dharma, Vedas are going to help with my Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Okay. Now, in Vedas, we say we have 3 sections. What is it? Karma, Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and Jnana Kanda. So, Karma and Upasana are primarily dealing with our Artha Kama, fulfilling any desires, okay, and means of fulfilling those desires, etc., is all given in Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. For example, when Dasharatha Maharaja did Putra Kameshti Yajna to have children, he has followed the Vedic rituals. Okay, so that is an example. So it is said that there are rituals even about how to go to Swarga, Loka, etc. So all of those are there in Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. Now, but the final goal of the Vedas is not fulfilling our Arthakama, but it is taking us to our final liberation, which is moksha. So this moksha, when we want to get to that section, the Jnanakanda or Upanishads, is what we also call as Vedanta. It is called as Vedanta because it is a anta. Anta means sometimes it is understood as end. But however, Vedanta also means, anta also means the essence. Okay, so here Vedanta means essence of entire Vedanta. Vedas is Vedanta. Now, the purpose of this specifically about Vedanta is to teach Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya means the knowledge by which I can attain Brahman. So, this Vedanta or these Upanishads are the foundation texts. Okay, so these are the foundational texts. Okay, these are called Shastra. Okay, now these are the Shastra Grantha. So these Shastra Grantha are somewhat difficult to understand, and so because there is a little bit difficulty in understanding, later, either in Puranas or in Itihasas, okay, they have given more and more elaborate description about this, and those are called as derivative texts. One such example of derivative text is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is considered as essence of all these Upanishads. Now, Brahma Sutras are also derivatives of, is a derivative of Upanishads, Shastras. However, even if you're studying Bhagavad Gita, as many of you are already doing, sometimes, though our Upanishads, what happens is that they start giving this knowledge to a student, and that student already has certain prerequisites, has already passed through those prerequisites, and the teacher is explaining to the student based on the level of that student. Now, you and I, we don't have that level of knowledge. Because we don't have that level of knowledge, what is being done is these Prakarana Granthas are written. Now, these Prakarana Granthas are associated with the Shastra Granthas, and their purpose is to do the Shastra Karya, which is to teach Brahma Vidya, supporting the purpose of Shastra. Okay, and they stay within the boundary of Shastra. Okay, so in fact, there is a definition that is said that Prakarana Grantha means Shastraika Desha Sambandha Shastram Karyantare Sthitam Anga Prakarana Nama Grantha Bheda Vipaschitaha. So that means it is associated with one or more aspects of Shastra. It is supporting the purpose of Shastra. It stays within the boundary of Shastra. It covers some topics of Shastra with the purpose of providing the knowledge. Okay. Now, what are we have recently covered Tattvabodha. I mean, we still have a couple of classes to finish, but in that, typically, in all majority of these Prakarana Granthas cover several different topics. One is called Adhikara Nirnaya, meaning who is the qualified student. In Tattvabodha, we saw Sadhana Chatushta Sampannatvam corresponding to this Adhikara Nirnaya. Sometimes some texts cover who is the Guru and how to approach the Guru. So texts like Viveka Chudamani, etc., they cover those. So Tattvabodha did not cover. This book that we are going to cover is also not going to cover either Adhikari, or it is not going to cover Guru Upasakana also. Then Mahavakya Vicharana. Mahavakya Vicharana means, Tattvamasi Mahavakya is there. So in there, Tat is there, Tvam is there, Asi is there. So what is Tat? What is Tvam? What is this Aikyata? All of that. So in Tattvabodha, we saw what is Atma, we saw what is the word, that is Tvam, what is Atma, etc. is all Tvampada. Tatpada is all about the world, how the world has been created. Aikya Vicharanam also we just completed, which is like how Jiva and Brahm, Ishvara are one and the same. Then Aikya Nirodha Parihara is another aspect, which is resolution of the objections. How can Jiva and Brahman be equal? Okay, again, this is a subject that we just covered in Tattva. Now, then again, they also talk about sadhana, that is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Samadhi Abhyasa, etc. All of those are covered as well. And also they sometimes cover phala, meaning the result of this Brahma Vidya, that is Mukti, Jivan Mukti, Videha Mukti, Krama Mukti, etc. Now, all texts do not cover all of these topics. This text, this particular text, Drg Drsya Viveka, focuses only on one aspect, and it has a laser focus on one aspect only. That is Tvam Pada Vichara. Okay, who are you? This is what is going to cover. So the way who are you is going to be covered how? Yourself. Okay, I am the self, but I need to understand what am I not. Okay, so the differentiation between who am I and who am I not, that is what is this Drg Drsya Viveka. So the text name I said is Drg Drsya Viveka, right? So originally the book was called as Vakya Sudha. This text was called as Vakya Sudha. So Vakya means it is talking about Mahavakyas, like Tatvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, etc. And Sudha means nectar. So nectar is at the core of the flower. Okay. In the same way, the essential core teaching of Vedanta are these Mahavakyas. So this text is the nectar and core of those Mahavakyas. So all Mahavakyas are teaching Jiva Brahmaikyata, and every Prakarana Grantha and every Vedantic text is going to teach the core of this Mahavakyas. Okay? However, because this text has applied a particular methodology where it is differentiating between who is the seer and what is seen. Okay, so that's why the name of the book has changed as Drg Drsya Viveka. Drg means seer, Drishya means seen, Viveka means understanding. Okay, so discernment between what is seen versus who is the seer. This is about the name of the text and where we fit in this entire Vedantic scriptures. Now let us come to the author. The author of this text is Shankaracharya ji. Now, Shankaracharya ji, so which Shankaracharya ji is a question. Okay, because when we say Shankaracharya ji, the first and foremost everyone thinks about is Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya ji. Okay. Now, however, as some of you may already know, Shankaracharya ji has established 4 pithas, okay, in 4 corners of the country. And he has set up heads for each of these pithas. So the head of each of those pithas, when they are heads, they are also called Shankaracharya. Now, since Shankaracharya ji, according to the Shankara Matha in Kaladi, was born in 6th century BC. Okay. Whereas in Western people say that he is born in 8th century AD or something like that. But they have if you go to Kaladi, they have a list of all the Shankaracharyas who were born after him and who are the heads of all this. So by year, they have the entire names. And according to them, Shankaracharya ji is born in 6th century BC. Now, since then, every head of these mathas or pithas was called as Shankaracharya. So it is 4 times maybe across these this is 21st century or 22nd century, 22 plus 6 in the back, so 28 centuries times maybe on average, if it is each Shankaracharya was like 25 years. So 25 times 28 times 4, that many Shankaracharya's are there. Okay. So now, why am I saying this is, this author of this text is called Shankaracharya, but it is considered that Swami Vidyaranyaji is the original author of this. And Swami Vidyaranya, who was also called as Madhavacharya, and he became the head of Shankaracharya Peetha. And as a result, he was also called as Shankaracharya. Now, this book is also attributed, so it is attributed to Shankaracharya, it is attributed to Swami Vidyaranya, it is also attributed to another name, Bharati Tirtha. Now, this Bharati Tirtha was also a Shankaracharya. And this Bharati Tirtha is also Guru for Vidyaranya Swami. And this Bharati Tirtha is also younger brother of Vidyaranya Swami. So his younger brother is his Guru. And both Bharati Tirtha and Vidyaranya Swami together wrote a great text, another text called Panchadashi. Okay, it means it is Panchadashi means 15. So there is a treatise of 15 chapters on entire Vedanta in a very step-by-step manner. And this Drg Drsya Viveka follows the same style as that one. So people are 100% sure that this is between Bharati Tirtha and Vidyaranya Swami. Now, it so happened that this Panchadashi is, some chapters are written by Bharati Tirtha, some chapters are written by Vidyaranya Swami. So whose style is what is a little bit of confusion. So nobody knows whether this book is written by Adi Shankaracharya ji, whether it is written by Vidyaranya Swami ji or Bharati Tirtha. Okay. If we are historians, it is an important thing for us. As a student of Vedanta, for us, the content of the text is more important than the author of the text. You know why? Actually, in Advaita Parampara, especially like in our Advaita tradition, many a times someone would write a text and they write their guru's name as the author. Their justification is simple. Everything that I learned is because of my guru. So anything that I wrote, in a sense, is what my guru taught me. So whatever I wrote, the author of that is my guru alone. So this is also a tradition in Advaita philosophy. So nobody, I mean, like not everyone cares for their name. Okay, so my name should be there in the book. Okay, if I write a text, it should have. So my name should be there, because what Advaita Vedanta is teaching is that you are not this body. If I'm not this body, I'm not this name either. So why should I get stuck upon my name when I write a book? Essentially, the purpose of writing a book is to spread the knowledge and wisdom of the Vedanta, so everyone can gain benefit from it. So this is the purpose of the text. Okay, so here we are. So we are going to start our first shloka. Before we start, I want to pause here and check if you have any questions based on what you had heard so far. I take it as no. So, by the way, I am putting a chat window message. Okay, it is a link to YouTube. This link is to Upanishad Ganga, episode 16. Upanishad Ganga is a set of is a TV series that is produced by Chinmaya Mission, and episode 16 tells the story of Vidyaranya Swami. Vidyaranya Swami is one more thing I want to tell you is that he's not merely a Vedantin, just like Shankaracharya ji, who walked 4 times up and down across India, and he has established all the mathas, he has done national integration, and he rebuilt the Hinduism that was under decay. Okay, and off late, I mean like, not off late, off recently, if you look at our own Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji, who walked across, I mean, like who traveled all over India and all over the world, teaching Bhagavad Gita in a language that all of us can understand. So that way there is a renaissance of our own cultural values, okay, so that we can understand the highest spiritual knowledge in the language that we are easily comfortable in speaking, which is English, right? And who was a path breaker in that, or path maker, right? Because of whose grace, even though we are all in US or in the Western world, we are still able to learn all these great things, right? In the same way, Swami Vidyaranyaji was great in his own way. He was not merely a Vedantin, but he was instrumental in establishing the uh, the Vijayanagara Samrajya, Vijayanagara Empire, okay, that has lasted for 200 years. So this Upanishad Ganga TV episode that actually shows both the sannyasi side of that Vidyaranya Swami and then the political brilliance of that Vidyaranya Swami. And I also have a little bit of a personal connection with Vidyaranya Swami. He's from he is born in it is said that he was born in Ekashila Nagara, which is Warangal, current day Warangal. That is the place where I am from. So that's my little link with the Puja Swami Vidyaranya. So now we'll really start the shloka. Okay. So does anyone want to go off mute and chant the shloka after me? Shobhaji, do you want to do that?
Sure.
Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Druk.
I'm just wondering which one is this?
First
The,
shloka.
the first shloka is something different.
What does it say?
I can start.
Deha mityeva jadasya buddhihi. It
Mm.
starts with that in my book. Please go ahead. Oh,
Okay, let's do Rajivji. Okay. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Druk.
Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik.
Tadrishyam Druktu Manasam.
Tat Drishyam Tu Manasam.
Drishyadhi Vrittaya Sakshi.
Drishyadhivrattaya Shakshi.
Druge Vanatu Drishyate.
Drike Natu Drishyate.
Thank you. So, if you, Rajivji, if you can actually read the translation, translatory meaning in that.
Okay. So I'm not using
The text. Okay, that's fine. So,
I got it.
can you read the translation alone?
Sure. The eye is the seer and form and color, the seen. That eye is the seen and the mind is its seer. The witness alone is the seer of thoughts in the mind and never the seen.
Thank you. Now, recently we covered the Tattvabodha, and we said that when we were studying Tattvabodha, we said that there is a Mangalacharan shloka, and we said that for Upanishads we have Shanti mantras, whereas in Prakarana Granthas we have Mangalacharana, and Mangalacharana is the nature of auspiciousness, and there this the author is remembering either God or his guru and praying for the success, right? So for Tattvabodha, the Mangalacharana shloka was Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Bhidhiyate. So that's how we used to chant every class. Now here in the translation that Shobhaji read, There is no mention of God anywhere. There's no mention of Guru anywhere. There's no prayer anywhere. So what went wrong? Okay. So is that only valid when Adi Shankaracharya writes Mangalacharya? Okay. So here, what we need to understand is Mangalacharanam is of 3 types. Now, the type of Mangalacharana that we have seen in Tattvabodha is called as Ishtadevata Namaskara Rupa Mangalacharana. So, Mangalacharana is I am performing something auspicious. Now, the nature of this Rupa means nature in this particular case. Ishtadevata Namaskara Rupa means Ishtadevata, the deity of my favorite form of deity is Ishtadevata. Performing prostrations to that Ishtadevata is Ishtadevata Namaskara. So there is one type of Mangalacharana which is prostrating to the deity of the worship, and author is offering his prostrations to him. In that case, Vasudeva Yogendra, and seeking the blessings. Now, the Mangalacharana, there can be another type of Mangalacharana which is a blessings type. Okay, so where it is called as Ashirvada Rupa. Okay, so where the teacher is blessing the readers. Okay, so or he is invoking God's grace and blessing their students. Okay, so that is also called as Ashirvada Rupa Mangalacharana. So we call Ishtadevata Namaskara Rupa, Ashirvada Rupa. Now the third is called as Vastu Nirdesha Rupa. Vastu Nirdesha Rupa. Vastu means, typically Vastu means object. Okay. So in Sanskritam, in this context, Vastu means reality or the essence. Okay. So Vastu, reality or essence that we are going to expound upon. Okay. That is Vastu. Nirdesha means indicating. Okay. So any Mangalacharana which is pointing to that Vastu, okay, and expressing the teaching of that ultimate reality, that is called as Vastu Rupa Mangalacharana. So that means instead of blessing the students, or instead of invoking a Guru or a Bhagwan, a Ishtadevata, they are simply pointing to the nature of reality. So that is called as Vastu Nirdesha Rupa. So for example, such examples are there in other texts also. For example, now, if you are familiar with another text called Upadesha Sahara, okay, that also follows this Vastu Nirdesha Rupa Mangalacharana. So where the author is Ramana Maharshi. He uses the word Karturajnaya Prapyate Phalam Karma Kim Phalam Karma Kim Param Karma Tajjaram. So here Kartru is the name of Ishvara. So by talking about Ishvara, so the entire and saying that this book is talking about the nature of Ishvara, that Upadesha Sara is doing the Mangalacharana. So here, in this particular Mangalacharanam, what is that Vastu that they are talking about is Sakshi. Okay, so here, when Sakshi is, you're bringing the attention to Sakshi. Now, Sakshi is witness. Typically, we say self is none other than the Sakshi. Okay? Self is the witnesser of everything. So here, this becomes, as a result, this verse becomes Vastu Nirdesha Rupa Mangalacharana. And this text, now, when we studied the Tattvabodha, it was called as Paribhashika. And it was all Paribhashika, meaning it was talking about, it was defining one term after other term after other term. And then it was also, it employed a prakriya or a method called as question and answers. Okay. Every time, Atma kaha, stula shariram kim, like that, pretty much there's always a question and then there's an answer. It's a Q&A. Now here, in this, the prakriya or the method, teaching method is called as Shakha Chandra Nyaya. Shakha Chandra Nyaya means here you are pointing to something vague, and from there you're going to go specific. Like, okay? So, for example, the literal translation of Shaka Chandranaya is on the second day or third day of moon, the moon is very thin and barely visible. And if you want to show, so you're going to point, you first show a distant tree. From the tree, you go to a top branch or any other specific branch. From that branch, you go to the tip of the branch. There is a leaf, and you look above the tree. Okay, so what are you taking? You're going from a tree to a branch to a twig to a leaf, and then you are doing a leapfrog directly from leaf to the moon. So in this process, what is happening is that even in that example, the mind is being trained from grosser to subtler to the subtler to the subtlest. So this author here, this text also here is going to be in the same way. It is going to take us from grosser to subtler to subtler. So to identify the Supreme, well, meaning to identify Brahman, first I need to understand my own self. Then I can understand that, okay, so the Jiva equals Brahman later on. But for me to understand the truth of Jiva, okay, so even though this text deals with entire Mahavakya's message, I said, right, the primary focus is on Tvam Pada, meaning like my own nature. I can only understand Tat only if I understand Tvam Pada properly. Okay, meaning if I understand myself properly, only then I can understand Brahman. If you remember Tattvabodha, first it covered Atma, then it covered the world. If you look at the Bhagavad Gita, first set of 6 chapters is about you, second set of 6 chapters is about God. Okay, so always only when I understand myself, then I can understand the world. Okay, so this is focusing on me. Okay, so a lot of importance in our Shastras are given on Atma Vichara or Adhyatma Vidya. Okay, so here, this is what we are doing is Tvam-pada Shodhana. Okay, so this is all the introduction to the first shloka. Now we are coming to the meaning of this shloka. Now it says, Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Druk Tadrishyam Druktu Manasam Drishyadhi Vrittaya Sakshi Drugevanatu Drishyate. So it said, it started simple. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Druk. Rupam means form or color. Okay, that's the Rupam. Drishyam means seen. Lochanam means eyes. Druk means seer. So that means if there is a form in front of me, that form is seen and my eyes are the seer. Okay, so that means very simple, right? So here is a mouse. This is a form. So this is the Rupam. My eyes are the seer. That's all. Okay. Tat Drishyam Druktu Manasam. Okay. So what happened is this Druktu, okay, sorry, that Drishyam, right? So Tat Drishyam. Tat means here, that means that. What is that? That means these eyes itself are becoming seen, Drishyam, whereas mind, Manasam, mind is becoming Druk. Okay, so initially it so happened This mouse was mouse was seen by my eyes. Later on, my mind is seeing my eyes. No, it doesn't mean, please don't think that mind has got its own set of eyes and somehow mind is seeing these physical eyes. Okay, I cannot really see my eyes unless I look into mirror. Okay, so nobody can see their own eyes. So what it means is that the idea that eyes have grasped an object is understood by the mind, and the mind is making the eyes to see this or that or anything like that. Okay, so between the seer and seen is lower and seer is higher. So when the mouse was seen, eyes were at a higher level. But compared to this eyes, mind has become at a higher level. Then said, Drishyadhi vrittayah sakshi drugeva natu drishyate. So this dhi, okay, dhi vrittayah I said, right? Dhi means, technically dhi means intellect. Okay, so because mind is just a flow of thoughts. So dhi vrittayah means all the thoughts of the mind have become drishya. Okay, so suddenly like the mind has become drishya and sakshi has become the seer, and sakshi has become druk. Okay, and not only druk, but it also said drugeva means seer alone. Eva means alone. Druk eva means seer alone. So the sakshi has become seer alone. Natu drishyate. Natu drishyate means it can never become drishya. It can never be seen. Okay.
That's the mind, is it? There's a mind that is something that can never be seen.
Sakshi is Atma. Okay, Sakshi here is referring to Atma. So the Atma, so what is happening is that when we are seeing, okay, Rupam, that Rupa is seen, eyes are seer. Eyes have become seen, mind became seer. Mind has become seen, Sakshi become seer. Is there anyone else who can see Sakshi? No. Is that final? Yes. Everything, all, what you call, like, they say all buck stops here. or the buck stops here kind of thing, right? So here, everything stops at Sakshi. Sakshi alone is the seer. Can anyone else see Sakshi? No, nobody can else see the Sakshi. This verse is also Vastu Sangraha Vakya, or the summary of entire text that is going to be expanded. Okay. Now, where are we? What difference does it make? Okay. The question is that, okay, so we understood that I understand this shloka. I understood the translation. I understood the meaning of this shloka. However, what difference does it make? Meaning, what the author is trying to get to is, again, in any of our Upanishads, etc., the very first shloka or very first mantra will have the entire message in that. Okay, because the entire message is in there, it becomes a little bit cryptic. Because it has become cryptic, then they say, okay, let me take a step back and explain to you. And then they start explaining, peeling, what you call, like, they are peeling one layer at a time and they are teaching us. Okay, so now, while we are not going to do the whole thing right now, but what it is that anything that is seen in our Vedanta, there is a maxim. Okay, what is the maxim? Is yad drishyam tat jadam. Yad Jadam Tan Nashwaram. Yad Nashwaram Tan Mithya. Yad Mithya Tan Mithya Tad Asat. Okay, so this is the facts. What does it mean is, whatever can be seen can be destroyed. Yad Drishyam Tat Nashwaram. Whatever can be destroyed is Mithya. Yan Nashwaram Tan Mithya. Yan Mithya Tat Asat. Whatever is Mithya in reality doesn't exist. So if I apply that principle, what happens? Rupam Drishyam. So this is Asat. Okay. Lochanam, eyes, are Asat. Manas, mind, Asat. The seer, but which cannot be seen, Sakshi alone is Sat. So what he's saying is, the entire Jagat is Mithya. That is the message. Now, how did you come to this conclusion? Like, who wrote this statement? Okay, can you just make up whatever you want to in just because it is Sanskritam, can they just make up stuff, right? So how did we start? We said Yad Drishyam Tat Tan Nashwaram, we said. So whatever is seen, right? Whatever is seen has a form. Agreed?
Yes.
So now, where is form coming from?
From the sight that we are seeing.
The form is coming from Panchamahabhutas.
Okay.
Okay? Form is coming from Panchamahabhutas. Panchamahabhutas are created.
By
They
Ish-
are, yeah, they are created and they came from Maya. We studied in Tattvabodha. Yes?
Okay.
Anything that has been created can be
Destroyed.
destroyed. Anything that exists today and doesn't exist tomorrow, then what does it mean? It is here a moment and gone in the next moment. That means that they are not absolute truth. If it is not absolute truth, because it is experienced at least briefly, it is called as mithya. Okay? It is illusory. But whatever is illusory, in reality, it doesn't exist. Okay? Because anything that is seen can be destroyed, that is illusory, and it cannot exist. So that means that whatever I see in this whole world, okay, including my eyes means what? Like all my jnanendriyas, including my karmendriyas, including my mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. That means my sthula sharira, sukshma sharira, karna sharira, all of them are
Mithya.
mithya alone. So the sakshi, which cannot be seen, alone is
The truth.
the truth. So we want to get to that fundamental truth. That is the essence of this shloka. Because, and who am I? I am that Sakshi. So this is what are we doing here? We are studying and we are trying to understand who am I. Because of that, we are saying that this book is about Tvam Pada Shodhana. Okay. So that means that analysis on what is Tvam, who are you. Okay, so this is what we are covering. So with that, so that is the first shloka. So I'll pause here to see if you have any questions.
You have to ponder. You have to think over this so much. And very deep.
So
Very,
that's
very.
why That's why I want to, please ask me any question whenever you get stuck. Okay, don't wait until the last minute. You can start texting right away in the chat window or ask me questions now. Okay. And if you happen to ponder after the session,
We'll
send text message or we can bring it up in next session also. Okay. So now we said that this Nyaya, I mean like this text follows Shaka Chandra Nyaya is said, right? So Shaka Chandra Nyaya means we start with something gross and then we are getting subtler and subtler and subtler. So here, what was the grossest thing? Oh, eyes are seen, mind is seen. Of course, all forms are seen. Okay. Now we are getting into a little bit of a subtler. Okay. So can someone else go off mute and repeat after me? Shloka number 2. Okay, Gopal.
I got it.
Neelapita sthula sukshma
नीलपीठस्थूलसूक्ष्म
ह्रस्व दीर्घाधिभेदतः
ह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः
नानाविधानि रूपाणि
नानाविधानि रूपाणि
पश्ये लोचनमेकथा.
पश्ये लोचनम् एकदा.
So here, he is saying is Neela, Pita. Neela means blue, Pita means yellow. Sthula, Sukshma. Sthula means grosser, Sukshma means subtler. Okay. Or you can see Sthula means large, Sukshma means small. Hraswa means short, Dirgha means long. Vedata, Adi means etc. So different types of differences such as different colors, small and large. Okay. Whatever colors, whatever you are looking at, Nana Vidhani Rupani, meaning like there are like so many varieties of forms are there. Pashyet Lochanam Ekatha. However, the one that is seeing all this is one Lochana, meaning one eye. Okay. One eye is enough to see all different types of rupas. Okay, so there are different types of forms. Okay, I see men, I see women, I see young children, I see older people, I see healthy people, sick people, rich people, poor people, animals, trees, etc. To see each of them, like to see a rock, I don't need a different set of eye, and then if to see a tree, I don't need a different set of eye, but only one set of eyes is enough to see everything. This is the translation of this. Now the question is, what does it mean? So that we are going to take up in our next section. Okay. So we'll stop here. We'll close with our closing prayer. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.